So have you ever seen a lumberjack wearing a lounge suit? You know what I'm talking about, that guy that's all dressed up, looking good, except for the fact that his boots are too casual for the outfit. I know some of you guys are thinking, well, Antonio, in the past, haven't you said that all boots by definition are casual? That is true, but there are degrees. There is a range. Some boots are more casual than others, while other boot styles like these black Chelseas right here could actually be dressed up and worn with a suit. My point is this: make sure you match the style of the boot with the style of your outfit. Some boots, because of their color, the material, their style, are going to be more casual. Other boots, because of their history, clean lines, and dark color, are going to be more formal. And yes, I know boots are never going to be as formal as a pair of dress shoes, but man, there are styles out there that can give any dress shoe a run for its money. In today's video, gents, we're talking about the mistakes that men make when they're wearing boots. Because, gents, I want you to look good. I want you to feel confident. I want you to be the best dressed man in the room. So with that being said, gents, you ready? Let's do this. Next up, we want to avoid the denim tsunami. This is when you're wearing a pair of boots with jeans that are not hemmed properly, and you get this huge accordion fold right in the ankle area, and even worse, it can sometimes go up the calf. Now, of course, one of the reasons this is a problem is that boot shafts come in a variety of sizes. Of course, you've got the incredibly tall Western boot, which, by the way, in most cases, unless you're a buckaroo, you are going to have this boot shaft underneath your denim. But even a pair of normal height laced boots, if paired with trousers that have a relatively thin leg opening, well, the result is denim that often bunches up, sometimes all the way up the calf. Now, the obvious solution is to choose a pair of trousers that actually have a proper leg opening for boots. Hence the fashion term boot cut. Very common in jeans, you'll also find it in regular trousers. Another option, especially if you wear boots a lot, is to actually just get your trousers hemmed to accommodate this style of footwear, which may not be the best option for most. Some of you guys maybe are just going to choose to stack or to roll your denim. Nothing wrong with that, especially if you do it properly. I've got a basic infographic on how to do it right here. And if all that sounds like too much, maybe just consider getting ankle boots. Yes, boots like this pair of Checkers right here don't have a high height. The Chelsea style boots are also going to fit into this description. These particular types of boot work really well for any trouser out there that has a slim cut, that has a thin leg opening. And gents, in case you didn't notice, all the boots in today's video are brought to you by our sponsor, Thursday Boots, for coming in on a decade. I've been talking about Thursday Boots because I love what these guys bring to the table. Great looking, stylish footwear that you can get at a fair price. Whether you're looking for a pair of Chelseas that you can dress up, you can wear with a suit, you can wear with a pair of dark denim, or you want something more casual, you can wear with light colored denim, maybe a hoodie, guys, check out the Chukka. And gents, if you're looking for a boot that can do everything, check out Thursday Boots Captains or their President lines. And of course, let's not forget about comfort. Guys, if you're looking for a comfortable style, check out the mock toe, the moccasin style. But, all of Thursday Boots, what I love them is the way that they're constructed, the way that they're built. Thursday uses a Goodyear welt on the majority of their boots. This allows for the boot to actually be resoled, makes it water resistant, and makes them incredibly comfortable the first time you put them on and the 100th time you put them on. So gents, whether you're looking for Western boots or a classic laced boot, you're going to find it over at Thursday Boots. And to make sure you get the best deal on the web, use that link in the description of today's video. Seriously, gents, they're an awesome company. Get over to their website, look at all the new styles, all the new colors, all the different materials, the way that they're combining things, and they are more than just boots. But these new moto styles, I really like this for the fall. If you're looking for a boot that has got a rugged overall feel to it, and I love how it has a rugged zipper right here, so easy on, easy off, just a great style boot that I know a lot of you guys probably don't have in your collection. And as a former motorcycle rider, yes, I hit all lower 48 states on my Triumph Sprint ST. I have to say they did an excellent job with this pair of boots. It's got cushions just in the right area. It's well made, just a really nice moto boot. But again, get over to Thursday Boots, check out all the different styles, check out all the different options, and use that link in the description of today's video to get the best deal on the web. Now with this next mistake, I want to be really clear. This one's more of a guideline than it is you have to follow it, and that is matching leathers. So if you're going to mismatch the leathers, at least understand what you're doing it and why you're doing it. Because guys, I've seen guys just break this rule, wear a belt that is a very different leather type than the shoe and make it work well. So again, if you know what you're doing here, you can bend this rule, but for most guys, when they're getting started in general, you want to make sure that the style of your boot works with the style of that belt. And if you can, even look at the watch strap. Now right here, I've got metal, so it's exempt, and we're really talking leathers. So let's look at that leather on the belt. Not only do you want to try to keep black with black and browns with browns, but you want to look at the formality of the belt. Remember that 1.25-inch belts in general are going to be dress belts. 1.5-inch belts are going to be the more casual styles. It's a small detail, but it's a proportion issue. And if you're wearing a larger, thicker, heavier pair of rugged looking boots and you've got, just a really sleek, smaller belt, there's just something that looks off about the combination. So try to avoid it. So the next mistake is a small detail. Can you see the difference between these boots? Getting a little bit more obvious, right? Can you see it? Can you see it? Yeah, look at those soles. Now the soles of a boot, as you guys know, are that bottom part right here. And you can see the boot on the left. Look at that rugged, heavier weight, overall oversized traction we've got. Now that particular feature is great if you want to have good traction, but if you want a boot that looks a little bit dressier, one style that would work probably better with a sports jacket, well, that detail may seem small, but to me it's obvious that the boot on the right has cleaner lines and overall is going to work with a more dressed up type of presentation if you're looking to match it with the clothing. Well, this boot style is going to be more at home with getting dressed up than the other style. This also applies to colors and contrast. Yes, I know these are very different styles, but in general, this boot is made to be more casual, not only because of the style, but look at that lighter color. Look at the contrast with the sole. We've got two different colors. This boot, on the other hand, not only is a more formal style, but you notice how the sole is actually the same color as the upper. And in case you didn't know, darker colors in general are always going to be more formal. Now this next mistake has more to do with comfort, making sure the boots feel good, but the first time you wear a pair of boots, wear it just for an hour or two at most. The reality is even comfortable boots take time to become comfortable. And the reason being is leather, when it heats up, when it gets a little bit of sweat in there, it starts to conform to the foot. You want to give your foot the chance to make these boots yours, to be able to identify some of the hot spots, to be able to adjust the lacing, to adjust the fit so it works for you. Wearing a pair of boots for the first time for like 12 to 14 hours can lead to hot spots and blisters. In addition, pay attention to the sole. So if you have a leather sole on boots, this one right here has a hybrid, so it actually doesn't have too much of a problem, but you want to make sure that you actually get and you rub up on that leather so that a little bit of traction forms. Understand, leather soles are some of the dressiest soles out there. Unfortunately, they also have some of the worst traction, especially when you are first using them. So you could easily slip and fall. Make sure that you actually get a few miles or at least rub these up on a rough surface to be able to create a little bit of traction right there on the leather. Next mistake I see a lot of guys making is they don't wipe off their boots after every wear, especially if you are in a high salt area. You're over in Ohio, you're here in Wisconsin, Michigan. Guys, we have a lot of salt that is on the roads. That's going to show up, especially on your dark boots, any of your dark shoes, as white rings. Ideally, at the end of your day, you go over your boots with a wet rag. You're looking to remove the salt, and once a week, you should be cleaning the boots and conditioning them. Again, this is during the winter. This is when they're exposed to all that moisture, all that snow, all that sleet, all that rain. And in case you didn't know, the reason that you want to pay attention to this is a lot of boots, especially the nice dressier boots, are made from a thinner leather that will absorb that salt and then dry out whenever the water leaves, whenever it evaporates. When this happens over repeated times, it can lead to cracking in the leather, and you want to make sure leather is just like skin. You want to clean it, you want to condition it, you want to keep it soft and supple. Now, of course, you can get around this to a degree by choosing a pair or a style of boots that are going to be made from a thicker, heavier leather. The only issue is it's going to be a clunkier, heavier boot in general. This style also in general takes longer to break in, but overall it's going to be more durable. That being said, they are not impregnable, so make sure still to wipe them down and treat them at least once every couple weeks. Now, what about suede? I know a lot of guys are scared to wear suede. I know with Thursday boots, they use a suede that is actually treated and water resistant. Seriously, here is me testing out. As you can see, the water rolls right off, but in general, suede is not going to be as durable as a full grain leather because it is cut from a different part of the hide that is less dense. That being said, I would encourage you not to be afraid of suede. It is just one of the easiest ways to bring in texture and a unique look to any of your footwear. All right, gents, what did I miss? What would you have added to this video? And talking about boot styles, what are some of my favorites? What are the boot styles that every guy needs to be looking at this fall? Well, guys, I got you covered with that video right here. Yeah, you want to know the 5 boot styles I recommend? Boom, right here. Check it out.